It is now 6:48. It's March 1st, Super Tuesday, arguably perhaps the biggest day of the presidential race so far this year. And joining us in the studio this morning is St. Mary's College political science professor Sean Savage. Thanks for being with us today. We appreciate it.
Yeah, good morning. So why today, Super Tuesday? Why is it so important?
Well, it's important because one state in particular that's holding its primaries, Texas, has 155 Republican delegates. The state that's more Republican delegates than any of the other states. It's also the home state of Ted Cruz, and Ted Cruz, of course, has been arguing that he is the only credible conservative alternative to Donald Trump as the future Republican nominee. So we have to see how well or not so well Ted Cruz does in his home state of Texas.
So roughly a dozen states are going to be holding votes throughout the country today. This is widespread demographically. It's widespread geography-wise. This is a day that Donald Trump is saying he could seal the deal. Do you think that's possible?
I think it's possible, again, if he has enough momentum going, and if, you know, as we all know in terms of media spin, nothing against the media, but it's not so much whether you win numerically and mathematically, it's do you do better than expected? Do you exceed expectations? So even if, let's say, Cruz wins Texas in terms of winning more votes statewide than Trump and wins more votes at the individual congressional districts, if it's a rather narrow victory, if it's a rather disappointing victory by its margin, people could say, well, in effect, it's sort of a loss for Ted Cruz, and it's proving increasingly Trump's momentum. Also, Trump is doing very well in Massachusetts and Alabama, in the same way he did very well in New Hampshire and South Carolina. Again, states that are very different from each other geographically, politically. Republican voters in New England tend to be more secular. They tend to be more moderate on social issues. So somebody like Trump can come in first and do very well, let's say, in Massachusetts and Alabama. Again, symbolically, it can suggest a certain very strong national appeal.
On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton is expected to win today. Does that seal the deal for her?
I think most likely. Probably the only state where Bernie Sanders at least has a chance of maybe scoring an upset is Massachusetts. But even there, the polls have been very close, either a dead heat between Sanders and Clinton or a narrow majority for Hillary Clinton.
There's a new CNN poll that came out literally about an hour ago. It said, regardless who wins the Democratic primary, if Trump is the nominee, that person will ultimately win the national election, win the presidency. Are you surprised by that?
Not really, because I mean, we've had a lot of nervousness on the so-called establishment of the Republican Party, depending on how you want to define establishment. There's even been some serious talk about trying to draft Mitt Romney in the later primaries and heading into the July convention if Trump is not the presumptive nominee in terms of the number of delegate votes. And of course, Democrats, I think, are kind of divided as to whether or not they really want to run against Trump. On the one hand, I think it's going to be easy to defeat Trump. He's so controversial. He's so outspoken. You never know what he's going to say next. He's very divisive. But then at the same time, Trump can be seen as perhaps a rather almost dangerous figure for Hillary Clinton because, again, nobody knows what he's going to say next. Nobody knows what kind of accusations he'll make about Hillary Clinton's emails or about the various sex scandals involving Bill Clinton or anything else.
It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming in this morning. Carrie, let's send it over to you.